Back and come in.
Okay, so
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Omega Revolution. We are live tonight, finally, for the third time, and we are most impressed that you have stuck around with us. And most important, Facebook etiquette for Zooms. Keep your tops on, keep your pants on, no picking your nose. And I know, but I've seen it, Ray. So have you. So
I'm
really,
scared to
I would
say
like
anything.
to take it away and introduce our fabulous guests because you know them best.
I do. I'm super excited.
See, and we have another guest. So
we have somebody coming in, so that's fantastic. I am so sorry for the first 3 attempts to get this live. This is typically Deb is the Facebook live queen. She enjoys that. If those of you who don't know, I did my first Facebook live ever with Deb. Also, those of you who don't know, I am super proud to be in the company on occasion of Josh Clark and Kevin Tang. They are partners in Leads to Profits, and they are genuinely some of the most funny, authentic, and brilliant, kind millennials that I know. And I'm really excited to have them here. We've been talking a lot about our business and how we manage our business, especially right now with what we are seeing with COVID and with really looking at virtual connection. If you're like me and you're kind of like ranging to that half a century age, there's Facebook is really, it's a monster. Instagram's a monster, Pinterest, all of these different things on social media that we're supposed to be on board with on how to go ahead and promote and sell and maximize our business. And for me, it's a bit of a mystery. And I know that Josh and Kevin have got this in the bag. They know exactly what is going on with social media and how we can leverage that to best scale our business. So I'm super excited to have them. They'll be sharing our screen. We're hoping that this is going to run. I know we started late, but I suspect this will run for about we'll finish up right on the hour, and I'll obviously have some opportunity for questions afterwards. And be sure to save your questions or pop them into the chat. Deb will be kind of watching what's going on Facebook, and we can answer questions there as well. So we are recording. Let's rock and roll. Josh, Kevin, thank you so much for coming.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much for having us. We can't wait. We can't wait to dive into things here. All right. So with that being said, I think we'll share our screen. All right. We all set? Oh.
We're good to go. I'll let you tell a little bit about yourself. It occurred to me that I didn't tell your story.
That's okay. We have that. Yeah. Part of it. We'll do a little intro. And kind of explain who we are and our background, and then get into some things here. So we'll dive into it. A little animation to get things started, of course, as we love those. Okay, so what are we going to cover today? First things first, we're going to discuss our journey, and then we'll dive into why you need to be utilizing digital marketing. And then we're going to go into using organic traffic to grow. And that'll be done through referral marketing is our favorite way to do that. So we'll give a little bit of insight on how we like to use referral marketing and how you can use it for your business. And then we are going to discuss paid traffic. And our favorite way to do that is quiz funnels. So we'll briefly discuss again what quiz funnels are. And then we're going to show some tips, tricks, and some softwares that we like to use that can help automate your business and can help remove a lot of people like to hire Fiverr workers, like to hire employees when there's a bunch of softwares that can actually fill that job and you can do it yourself, and it's super time saving. So we'll show you that, and then a Q&A. So before we get into things too, I do want to discuss kind of the amount of stuff that digital marketing has today. So with this presentation, we try to put together kind of a basic overview of what we think would be the most applicable to Zinzino, to the Omega Revolution, and what can help your business grow. So the biggest thing that we kind of came up with is growing an audience. So how do you get an audience? How do you use that audience, and how do you monetize that audience? That's something that people constantly struggle with, is how to actually grow on different social media channels and the best way to do that. So that's kind of one of the focuses that we thought we'd discuss today. All right. So first of all, we're gonna start with our journey. Kevin and I started out in e-commerce. So we started in university in our dorm rooms. We had a drop shipping business. We ranked in the top 1% of stores on Shopify for traffic generation. It was actually, we sold $100,000 worth of pancake flippers. So that was the big start. It was like a $1 little pancake flipper. We were doing drop shipping is from China, and we were running advertisements online. So here's an example of a video that we made. And it got lots of views, 52,000 views on this one. And we would just sell products from the videos. And this was the introduction to our online marketing journey. Year 2, we decided to move on into more working with clients. So we have sports backgrounds. We started a sports marketing agency where we would build athletes' brands, find endorsement deals they're passionate about, and then we would set up charities and foundations. And then from that, we would run the endorsement campaigns. So this was really helpful for us working in a different setting. Rather than doing just product sales, we're now generating leads and that kind of thing for higher ticket clients, which was lots of fun. Then we got tired of doing that. We wanted to travel the world. So we started an advertising agency. Here's us in Costa Rica. We were actually going around and working for some luxury villas, and we were filming and running ad campaigns for various properties in order to get them bookings. With the advertising agency, we also worked on building and selling courses. We did web design and creation. We managed and edited podcasts. We'd grow social media channels. We'd grow and scale Facebook groups, running Facebook ad campaigns, and LinkedIn automation and growth. And that brings us to today. Today we do essentially, we have a marketing consulting agency, and that's where we coach and teach people how to use AI software. We dissect skills and monetize based on that individual. And we find the most relevant marketing content, and we transition businesses from offline to online. So the reason that we love the sort of the consulting model is because there's so much stuff online. It's very difficult for business owners to know what's working, what's not working. Is it right for them is one of the biggest things. So a Facebook advertising course may be great for certain businesses, but not for others. So I think it's very helpful being able to look at businesses, dissect them, and kind of advise them on what the best approach is for them. So that's enough about us. Quick overview, where we started. Our experience is kind of all over the place. Do you have anything to add for the journey?
No, I think you got it basically covered.
Okay, great. Well, so why do you have to be in digital marketing? Why should you be online? So the first thing is the amount of people you can reach is absolutely ridiculous. So if you're running a Facebook ad campaign, as you saw at that one video, we got 52,000 views just on that video, which was incredible. And from that, we generated thousands and thousands of dollars in sales. Without online marketing, that would be incredibly difficult to do. So for example, if you're running television commercials, or however it used to work, yes, you can reach a large audience, but it's very not targeted at all, which is the next thing. So you can target the exact individual you want. And by exact, I literally mean exact. So we have before, I don't want to say stalked, but we've targeted certain individuals online that we want to put our stuff in front of. So whether it's we want a speaking gig, then we can run advertisements to certain postal codes. We can run advertisements to certain emails. So if we get the email of the individual, we can just run ads targeting that one person. So they continually see who you are, what you're talking about, and that kind of thing. So the amount of precision you can get with online advertising is incredible. So that's definitely a reason why you should be using digital marketing. And the third is it's the most cost-effective way to scale a business. So never in the history of business could you sit behind your computer and just grow, scale, show thousands and millions of people what it is you're offering, and find ways to differentiate between the competition. So digital marketing is definitely a place to be, and it's continually growing every single year. But the biggest thing to all this is you have to have an audience. If you don't have a tribe or an audience, it's very, very difficult to have a long-term business. And that's what we found in our first business with the pancake flippers. We're doing one-off sales, but of course we didn't have a tribe. We didn't have people invest in who we were as individuals. So it was all one-off sales. This is exactly what it was. So the scaling was very, very difficult when it came to that e-commerce model that we originally started out with.
Okay, so there are two main ways that you want to grow an audience. So that's organically, and that's basically just free traffic coming to your site. And then there's paid traffic. And like Josh was saying, now is like the best opportunity because never in history could you pay $10. And on Facebook, you can actually reach 10,000 people with that $10 ad. But if you're starting out and you're anything like us, you want to go organically because that's free and you probably don't have a budget in mind right now. So for organic growth, the three main social media platforms that we use are Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And you can probably use Google, YouTube, and Pinterest as well. But for starting out, these three are what we'd recommend. So Instagram, they just released Reels, which is sort of like their competitor to TikTok. And TikTok is that new buzzworthy social platform that's out right now. And so they're really pushing it. And so if you have 15-second videos on Instagram, they're going to push that out to the most people that they can. And what we would recommend is having to post 1 to 2 Instagram photos a day. And on Facebook, you want to have video posted because that's what they really push. And a lot of people think that LinkedIn is just for hiring or for businesses. But recently, more businesses are starting to see that you can actually, it's basically where Facebook was 5 years ago. And you can get the most undervalued traffic on LinkedIn. So for creating content, there are three main ways that we want to use content. So SEO blogs, they're basically, if you are good at writing, then you can actually create a blog for Zinzino or for your fish oil business. And Google, if you're good at SEO, that's basically, SEO means search engine optimization. And you want to put keywords like fish oil, omega-3s in your blogs, and Google will actually pick that up and feed it to people that are searching for omega-3s on Google on the first page. And long form content and YouTube channels. So creating content is sort of, it might be overwhelming for people, but that's why we'll go over the three main ways that we gain content, I guess.
Yeah, and one more thing I want to add is consistency is key when you're trying to do organic growth. The difficulties with organic growth, as I'm sure if people have Instagram accounts, if they have social media accounts that they're trying to grow, it's a very slow process, but the key is staying consistent and staying authentic to who you are as a person, because that way people will start listening, people will slowly grow over time. And the other thing is with the SEO blogs, for instance, it usually takes 8 months for Google to actually register these blogs, for them to rank the blogs on Google. So again, it'll take about 8 months from the time you post it for it to actually be ranking, and therefore people are clicking on it, generating traffic. So the organic growth strategies are very slow. And that brings us to the next point, which Kevin's going to dive into, which is one of the best ways to speed up the entire process and to use organic growth at a rapid pace.
Yes, so it could be overwhelming now where we're saying, okay, you have to put 1 to 2 posts on Instagram, you have to put videos on Facebook. But it doesn't have to be that hard because there are automation tools that we'll talk about later on. But the main way to get started that we find is the best is through referral marketing. And this is just a incentivized program where you can give a product for an action from a customer. So the top 3 ways that we use referral marketing are to grow your Facebook group, grow an email list, and to sell products. So back in the day, what we've used referral marketing for is to build Facebook groups to 1,000 people in under a month, an email list to 2,000 people in over 3 months. And we've also used it to sell products as well. So Facebook groups, the process for your referral marketing. So there are different ways that you can use referral marketing. You can have a contest where the most people to refer your company to a person would earn a prize, or you can just do it where every person refers 3 people and they get a prize that's guaranteed, or if they refer 5 people, then they get a prize. So the basic thing would be to just get your friends and family at first to join your Facebook group. And the second stage would be messaging each member after they join, say, hey, welcome to the group. I'm glad you're with me on my mission to success. And then you give them a referral program link. And then you can actually use a tool like Viral Loops, which will show you. And you can track everyone that they refer. And so here's an example of Harry's Razors. So they actually used the same tool that we use, Viral Loops. And what they did was to launch their company, they had this referral program. So if you refer 5 friends, you get shaving cream, 10 friends, and you get the Truman handle and blade. And the results, first of all, they weren't even expecting that much because it was a very new marketing tactic. And they ended up actually getting 100,000 email signups in the first week, which is incredible. And I think that Schick, the razor company, last year tried to acquire them for $1.4 billion, which is amazing. And that's off the back of Harry's doing such an amazing job building an email list, building their audience. So here is another example, Airbnb. So they did a referral program where every person that they invited, they would actually receive $100 in travel credit. And you can see this is back when they initially started, and the website is super old, but through the referral marketing program, they got 900% year-on-year growth for first-time bookings. So we'll actually pull up the tool that we use. Can you see on this screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what we use, there's multiple tools, but we recommend Viral Loops. That's the one we use. And just see what the program's like. So there's the milestone referral. That's what Harry's used. And if you go into the back end, it's a super easy, simple tool to use. They have a bunch of guides on their blogs. And it basically lets you put together, okay, so you want to have a referral program and you want to give away items after 15 people referred, 30 people, and that's totally customizable. You can give it away for 1 person, 2 people. It's totally your choice. And you can actually integrate it with an email list. So to people that are growing on your Facebook group's email list, you can send them automated things saying, hey, we have this referral program. Would you like to join, or would you like to participate? Oh, oops. Sorry about that.
No. Actually, no. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. We're live.
And then this would be an example of, say you have a checkout at the Zinzino page and they want to, then they don't know about your referral program yet. This will be a pop-up where they get introduced to the whole program. So you can start to see how you can use referrals for your own business. So omega-3s, Zinzino, fish oil, I would say if we were to create a campaign off the bat right now, thinking that it's so related to diet and food, you can actually pair up with a local company, say a seafood restaurant or something like that, and then partner with them and say, every person that gets 3 referrals to my fish oil brand will get a free dinner or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's promoting the local business as well. And that's exactly what Kev was talking about when he said, where are we? There we go. Yeah, so that's exactly what Kev was talking about too, when he said to use Facebook to direct message people who have joined the group. So how that would look is everyone who joins, you send them a message saying, hey, here's my referral program. We are hosting a draw for 10 people. If you refer 10 people, then you get entered in a draw to win a vacation to Hawaii, or whatever your offer is. Like Kev mentioned, just let them know what it is. So then that person goes, they invite 3 people to the group, and you tell the new 3 people the same thing. They go invite 3 people to the group. It's so easy for them. It doesn't cost them any money too, if it's a group growth strategy. So it's free for them. They get entered into either a draw or they get something if you have a partnership. It's a really good way to have organic growth. It is time consuming in the fact that you have to message the person individually, but it's really worth it and it saves you a ton of money. we've had really good results with that actually growing some groups. So yeah, that's a great one. Is that wrap up the referral program?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. So that's the organic kind of growth strategy that we like as the referral program. If anyone has questions on how to actually use the software, there's tons of videos online, YouTube videos, trainings. We don't know anyone like how technically skilled people are, and it always varies. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us at the end as well on how to use anything. But next, we're going to dive into the paid growth. So this is one that everyone has questions about all the time. Facebook ads. Everyone knows Facebook ads are incredibly successful, but I guarantee most people that run Facebook ads do not get results with it. So if you're sitting there being like, you've tried Facebook ads, but you don't get sales from it, that's extremely common. And that's because people usually don't use them the right way. So it's not that Facebook ads are dead or anything like that. They just, you have to know how to use them properly or else they don't work very well. So we're going to dive into the #1 strategy for using Facebook ads that works better than we've ever seen. And we'll show you exactly what that looks like in a second. And then Instagram ads are really good as well. You set those up through Facebook. One thing I want to note also is people just click boost post often, and that will almost never drive sales. So if you're trying to sell something by boosting a post, it's almost a flawed strategy. So try and avoid doing that. And then there's LinkedIn ads. Those are brand new, but we're not brand new, but they're improving constantly and they're becoming more comparable to Facebook's. The issue with LinkedIn ads before was the targeting was a lot more difficult than Facebook's, but now LinkedIn ads are a good way to go if you're interested in that. And then YouTube advertisements as well. I'm sure everyone has been annoyed with YouTube ads as we have before, trying to watch a video and someone pops up on your screen, and you have to watch it. So YouTube videos or YouTube ads, they do work well. And again, when you'd want to use a YouTube ad is say you're trying to promote a webinar. The reason a webinar would be good is because when people are on YouTube, they're already sitting in their chair, committed to watching something. That's why they're on YouTube. People are not often on their phones looking at YouTube. They'll either be sitting in a desk ready to watch a video. So if you do have a video presentation, then YouTube ads work really well for that. So our favorite form of paid advertisements is quiz ads. I'm curious, has anyone seen, I guess there's no live chat or anything, but I want to know if hopefully you've seen these things pop up on your Facebook feed before. So if you can't pass this quiz, you shouldn't have graduated from high school. Extremely clickbaity, very fun. I know I've gone through them. There's what Harry Potter house are you in? There's all these different quiz titles that are catchy and fun for people. But what people don't know is these are often marketing techniques, marketing funnels. So here's an example of a quiz ad that Kevin and I are running with one of our clients. And we'll show you guys kind of what a quiz ad looks like, and then we'll dive into why they're so successful. So this is the start to the quiz. So what kind of hockey parent are you? Start quiz. We're just going to click random ones, but ideally it's a hockey parent going through it. It's very clear it's for hockey parents. So we already know we have the targeted audience. So we're targeting the right person. And then the beautiful thing about this is we're collecting data as we go through the funnel. So not only is it a great way to get people to click because it's fun, clickbaity, but also you're collecting more data than a typical ad would. Just going to click random things again. And then this is the most important part about it. So in order to get your results, you have to enter your email. This is by far the most cost-effective way of growing an email list, and then in turn growing a Facebook group. So in order to get your quiz results, you have to put in your email, click continue, and then yeah, you get the results. We collect the email. It's perfect. Back to the presentation. So yeah, now that you have an idea of what the funnel looks like, let's explain it a little bit further. So why do you want to use quiz ads? First one, that email capture that you saw at the end is incredibly valuable, and usually it's very, very difficult to collect an email. I don't know if you guys have tried growing an email list before, But the only way that someone submits their email to you is if you have something to offer them. So people try giving ebooks, people try just asking for emails, all that kind of stuff, but it's still very difficult. There's a lot of obstacles to getting that email. Something like this is so simple because people usually don't even realize that it's for marketing. And then second of all, they're curious. They just committed to this quiz. They want to know their answers. They went through it. What's the answer? So you get their email almost every time. The second benefit is you're hiding in plain sight. So people are getting so used to Facebook ads, it's becoming white noise. With quizzes, you kind of mask the ad as a game. So again, that works really, really well, and people are much more likely to click on it than a normal ad. And then the third way, as we discussed, is you collect more data. So what we actually do is we segment the people throughout the quiz. What we do is we map out funnels within, and we can determine who selected what and what their outcome is. So then we can have targeted sort of campaigns for each individual. Hope that's not too technical. It may sound like it off the top, but so here's again a little visual breakdown of what the flow looks like of a quiz funnel. So it begins with a welcome or a landing page. We'll usually do a Facebook ad instead though. So it's just a direct Facebook ad and it'll look something like this. So free quiz, which publishing path is right for your book? Start the quiz now. So then people will go in. The benefit of this is you're calling out the direct person as well. So what the publishing path is right for your book. That means only someone who has a book will click on that. It's really effective in targeting the exact person. So that's another benefit to them. And then you go through the questions and the lead capture. So this is where the questions come in, and this is where you're collecting more data on the individual. So maybe they've clicked on it and you find out they're not actually an author yet, but they want to be an author. Then you can provide a different landing page for each person. So you can have a different offer at the end based on whether they're actually an author, whether they're becoming an author, or whether they're interested in becoming one, if you're a publisher anyways. Anything to add?
Keep going.
Okay, I've been rambling. I don't know. Okay, and then again, yeah, the customized outcome page. So the key is to have a specific ask or offer in the outcome page. One way that we love to use this is to grow the Facebook group. So you've collected the email, and now to grow the Facebook group, in this final step, you can say, hey, if you want more incredible information on how to get your book published, click the link, join my Facebook group. In terms of Zinzino or any health related product, we have a couple examples we'll show you in a second, but it could be more like, thank you for taking my quiz on how healthy your heart is. Click the link to join my Facebook group where we'll go over the best diets, where we'll go over the best way to increase your heart health. And then there's a good chance they'll click on that video or click on that link and join your Facebook group. So it's a double whammy. You collect their email and you offer them to join your Facebook group. Quiz ads, very, very good. Here's an actual case study that Kevin and I have done. So this just goes to show a little numbers behind it. We had 5,764 people go through the quiz. We had 2,066 people give us their emails, which is incredible. So that's a really strong email list. And then, yeah, that costs 11 cents per click. I think the average cost for emails is usually around $2 to collect an email. This way, we're finding email collection at 11 cents per click. So it's super, super valuable, super effective. And then when you have their email, monetizing that email sequence is a whole nother thing we can talk about another day or something like that. But it's, yeah. So there's a lot of value in an email list. Just know that. Here's a couple case studies. So Proactive uses quiz funnels. People may not know this, but they actually grew a list of 20 million people by this exact strategy. So what's my skin type? This is a perfect one for the Zinzino skin products, that kind of thing. What's my skin type? Click on it, you collect their email, and then you start providing them information on how omega oils can benefit their skin, that kind of thing. So this was a really successful campaign. Another example is Dr. Oz. If anyone goes to Dr. Oz's website, actually maybe I'll pull it up because he has endless quizzes on it that people also don't realize. So bear with me here. Okay, so Dr. Oz, you scroll down. Where's these quizzes?
Just maybe on the Explore and quizzes right there.
Quizzes, yes. So he also uses quizzes all the time. Here's some ideas even if for Omega. So how much you know about intermittent fasting, take the quiz. These kind of things are perfect for collecting emails. Oprah uses quizzes, the ACE test, adverse childhood experiences, take the quiz. So many hugely successful people are using this strategy. And again, you would never assume that it's a marketing technique. You think it's more beneficial for you. Well, yes, it is. It's also them collecting your email and then using it for marketing. So yeah, Dr. Oz, he grew a list of 40 million people strictly from the strategy. And his was called the real age test. So how old are you actually versus how old do you feel? Another example here is how you can also do high ticket sales from quiz funnels. So she did a quiz, $15,000 high ticket sale. And this is exactly how she did as well. So that was the publishing path one that we discussed earlier. And yeah, that's our favorite paid ad strategy is quiz funnels. There's lots of different softwares to set it up and different ways to do it. But again, that's a whole nother thing. And this is, again, just a general overview for an introduction on our favorite paid and our favorite organic strategies to growing groups and growing email lists.
Yeah. And the main two things, or the main thing that we stress with both the referral marketing and the quiz ad is that the main thing that we're getting is the emails. And that's when you're starting out, and even when you're a big business, the email list that you grow is the main decision or the main factor for your success, basically, because you can advertise to your email list for free. And there are ways that you can actually use the email list to grow your business even more. So on Facebook, you can upload your email list and Facebook will actually go find similarities between the people you already have and then advertise directly to people that are exactly like your client base.
Yep, no, exactly. One more thing I'll add in is what we like to do is we like to set up an automation. So as soon as we collect their emails, then they enter into our next sequence. So it'll be an email campaign where then the first 2 emails may be about joining the Facebook group. So again, it's doubling down on growing your Facebook group and growing your email list. And then from there, it's really easy to grow all social media platforms. If you have a direct path to talking to people who are interested in your business, it's very easy to say, hey, check out my Instagram account, check out my YouTube channel, check out this. You can just send them emails, and that's a great way to organically grow your social media platforms of all sorts, kind of deal. So yeah, next we're gonna show you guys some neat softwares that we like to use that can really scale your business. People have a lot of troubles with creating videos, and we'll show you an incredible software that will actually make videos for you, and all you do is click a button and it'll make the video for you. It's AI, it's incredible. And yeah.
So the first one is Descript. And if you're anyone that's looking to build a podcast or any videos online and you have trouble recording, or maybe you're jittery or you're nervous, if you have mistakes or you say a lot, this tool is actually great for cutting those out. So if I say a lot here,
which we did, so I'm sure we'll be using the script to fix that.
The audio will actually turn into text. It'll show you a script of what you've made, and then you can actually find the ums and cross them out, and it'll show on the video that it'll cut it out for you, so you don't have to do any video editing. You don't need to know any complex software. It'll do it all for you.
And one of my favorite parts about it is you can actually add in words as well, and it will use the AI software to use your voice and fill in the void using your voice. It's crazy. So if you miss something important in your speech, you don't have to re-record it. You can just type it in and it will actually take your voice and add it in, which is pretty neat. And then this is also great for transcribing. I know that's a question we also get, is how to just get a Word document of some sort of video kind of deal. So the next one is VidNanny. This one is so helpful for everyone in all capacities. Whether you want to build a course, whether you want to say you're really bad at talking and you don't know how to make videos, this will actually use AI software to create videos for you. All you have to do is you have to type something in, and it will find videos that match that text and automatically overlay the text, just like this image here. I'll actually show you quick example as well. So something like this.
With summer break just around the corner, here's our 5 top tips for traveling on a budget. Tip number 1, book flights online using a VPN.
So all the person had to do here was type in and submit the words tip number 1, book flights online using a VPN. And then the software automatically found this video and added it behind, added the text over it, did everything for them. So it's super simple. They submitted a Word document, and this is the video they get out of it. So
Yeah. Prices often vary depending on where you are booking from. You can use a simple VPN to make it look like you're booking from a different country and save.
So yeah, this one's super helpful. And whether it's for social media, whether it's for, again, a course, if you're terrible at talking, then maybe you want to use some of these to explain things better. Yeah, that kind of thing. So.
And then I think the final one we'll show is automation bots. And this is just using AI technology to the best of its abilities. So this is perfect for cold calling, cold outreaching. And back in the day, Josh and I used to actually have to email hundreds of people every day just to get some clients at the beginning. And that's super time consuming, as you can imagine. But with Phantom Buster, what we've used now, it actually handles that throughout the day without us having to do anything. And so we'll show you, this is how you can build a massive network as well on LinkedIn. And so the process goes like this. So you go on Sales Navigator, and for this example, we were trying to find CEOs of luxury villa companies around the world. And so you can see this is a good search. There's 2.5 thousand people in this search. And so what you do is you go to Phantom Buster, you set up a bot, and then you say, hi, first name. I run a team of content creators from Canada, and we specialize in helping luxury property companies grow online. And then that first name, that hashtag first name, makes it customized. So when we actually go to send the message, it actually shows up as, hi, Andreas, puts his first name in there as the placeholder. And he thinks it's just a custom made message that we made for him at the moment. But actually that was at 1:45 p.m. We were probably out and about doing whatever.
Yeah.
And so this bot works 24/7 around the clock, reaching out to people. And he is responding. And then once you actually set it up, you can actually put everyone that you've contacted onto a sheet. So you know exactly who you've contacted and their LinkedIn profiles for any references.
Yes. And again, relating this back to Zinzino or Omega Oils for the Omega Revolution, if you are looking for partners, this can be an incredible strategy. You know, LinkedIn is where business owners are. So if you don't want to go connect with everyone, start those conversations, you're not comfortable doing that, you can set up this bot that can just target everyone who say is an MLM business owner, and then it'll automatically send them messages, connect with them, and then begin the conversation without you doing anything. So first of all, the benefit is it finds the people with that job title, and then it sends them a message. So very, very helpful. We've done incredible things with this software alone. And that's essentially the end of the presentation. Yeah, so
Oh my gosh.
Anytime.
I hope it wasn't too complicated there. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully it wasn't too complex.
This is so fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have a couple of questions, and I know we've got people watching live on Facebook, and we have some people here. So I'm going to start with just a kind of like the obvious thing. So tell me about Phantom Buster, for instance, is like my fantasy buster right there, being able to have a bot that responds to some of these things. What am I looking at in terms of like my overhead or a cost for something like this?
Okay, so it's actually very, very reasonable, these softwares. And that's why it's so nice. Because something that we often find as well is people, if they don't know how to do something, they go and try and hire someone else to do it, but then they never learn it. So how do you get control of your business if you never actually understand anything to do with it? And how do you know that people are doing it properly, doing it well, doing it to the best of the ability? If you have an understanding of the basics, it can be very, very beneficial. So to answer your question, Phantom Buster, who's just Phantom Buster?
There's different levels. It works off the hours. So how many hours of the day do you want the bot to work?
Yeah.
So I think it goes from $30 all the way up to 200, which is pretty high,
Per
but
month,
that's
right?
per month.
Yeah.
But usually you don't.
If you're paying a person to do
Yeah.
sales for you outreach, $30 for a month, you're not going to find a very
Yeah.
good sales rep for that.
You're so not. No, I think that's brilliant.
And then Vidnami also, sorry to cut you off the rate. Vidnami is I think $9 a month. And to get someone to edit video for you and to create course videos can be thousands of dollars per video, especially if you want a remotely high quality one. And to add subtitles in, that alone is an expensive thing, even if you use Fiverr, even if you're finding the cheapest ways to do it. So using a software like that can save you thousands of dollars per month, and you can produce way more content than you ever could using an individual.
It saves you a bunch of time. Like what we said on Facebook, you should post 1 to 2 times a day. That would be impossible without Vidnami unless you have a huge team.
So that brings me to my next question. So everybody's saying that Facebook videos are working more than static posts, correct?
Mhm.
So Vidnami would be like a great hack to be able to create those videos as opposed to
Yeah, and the other benefit,
trying to throw fish and stuff in the air.
yeah, and the other benefit would be, well, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
The other benefit too would be people often look at videos on their phones and their volume is off. So something like Vidnami has the subtitles come up automatically, which is difficult to do. And you get to type it out. So there's no spelling errors. It's as you want it. So that's a very helpful tool.
And also video is great because you can actually track the watch time. So if you have a photo and if you have a photo ad and someone scrolls, maybe Facebook will track that as, oh, this person viewed your ad. Whereas in a video, you can actually see, okay, this person watched 90% of my 2-minute video. Okay, that they must be super engaged with my content. And then you can re-advertise to them and you know that they're a really good potential customer.
Awesome. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Because I know Deb and I could probably go to town here.
Hey, you know what? I got lots of questions, but I just have a couple. So do we post the same exact information to Facebook as to Instagram?
You can, because you usually have different audiences on both anyways. However, you have to be careful of the dimensions of the video, which is why Vidnami is so incredible too, because you can change the dimensions to match the platform. So if you're posting a reel, for instance, it has to be, it's 1920 by 1080 tall. Instead of horizontal, it's vertical. So that is a difficult thing to do usually, but a software like Vidnami, or if you do know how to manually do it, it's great, but it is, yeah.
And starting out, of course, it's too hard to make custom content for each, but later on, if you get better and you build a team, it's good to have custom content for each platform, just because the mindset of people is different when they surf different things. Like LinkedIn, it's more corporate. You're not going to see like a bikini photo or something, or a beach photo,
which you might on Facebook
Yeah.
or Instagram. So it's different audiences. Yeah.
Okay. So what would you recommend as a best social media manager? I know there's Buffer and there's Hootsuite and a few out there, and some of them are fairly expensive. But if you had like, say, 2 or 3 different platforms that you, or even Facebook groups or pages that you wanted to share your content on, which would be the best one in your opinion?
So that's a super important thing actually that you asked too, because one of the most time consuming parts is posting to all the different platforms. If you're trying to post 2 times a day, it's a full-time job. So that's something that also, if you're trying to hire a social media manager, it's very difficult because you don't see immediate results from it, yet you're paying a lot of money for it because it takes a lot of time. So if someone's dedicating 3 hours a day working for you at $20 an hour, that's $60 per day, but you're not seeing any money back for that. So people don't appreciate that, obviously, and they don't see the value in it, even though it's a long-term gain. So to answer your question, something like Hootsuite, I think is the best platform, but it's also the most expensive, which makes sense. We use Buffer often. Sometimes there's integration issues with Buffer, is we've kind of found though, and it might disconnect you from your platform. You have to reconnect it. So there's those kind of issues with Buffer, but if you get past that, then it is fairly good and it does the trick. You can just post one video and click post to all, and it'll go to all the different platforms, which is great. But Hootsuite, I think, is definitely the most successful, most reliable, and it has analytics as well. However, I did briefly mention in the presentation that Instagram now has a platform that allows you to decide when your post goes out. So say you spend just one day a week, like a Sunday, making all your content, you can decide when it goes out throughout the week, which can help as well. And that's free on Instagram if you use the business account. So you can just schedule a post throughout the week.
So is that the same idea then as the business suite on Facebook, where you can go into the back end and share it to your Instagram and your Facebook page at the same time?
Yeah, I think, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then you can schedule when it releases throughout the week, which is nice.
Okay. LinkedIn, you touched on that, and I have a LinkedIn account for my coaching business, and I haven't really, I post to it, but I haven't done a lot with it. But it's a free account. Is this something that, if you're looking to get people that are interested in the business aspect of this, would this be something that would be worth paying for a subscription for?
We love LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We've had great success with it. People are looking for business on LinkedIn. The issue is you got to outsell them usually though, because they're engaging in conversation, usually trying to sell.
They're trying to sell you.
Yeah, exactly. But so if you know your intention going in, it's a great way to meet people. And that is also, it's a numbers game, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So the more people you're in touch with, the better it is. And that's why we do use something like Phantom Buster, because you send 1,000 messages, you'll get at least 20, 30 replies. If you send 10 messages, you might get no replies, might get discouraged, might not think it works. It's a volume game, and that's why it takes a lot of time. And to answer the paid question, Sales Navigator is super beneficial. It's very expensive though. It's like $900 a year, I think, US to use it, but you can search people by job title, which is hugely beneficial, knowing the exact person, getting a lot of information on them, and then you can find the exact individual you're looking to communicate with.
Yeah, and you can also message anybody when you have Sales Navigator versus LinkedIn. You can only message through connections. So I've had a Sales Navigator for 3 years now, I think, and it's certainly been worth it. But I mean, those partners watching, like this is all like value add stuff. It's not like these things are required, or this type of investment is required by any stretch to do what it is that you want to do, right? So if we were to really go back to the basics, to start at like starting a Facebook page, starting an Instagram page, trying to grow that page, really creating content that's going to generate emails so you can kind of work off referrals there. I think that was so valuable.
Yeah, I think the base level would honestly be starting a group, like adding your images in, making sure you have some content in there so no one wants to join an empty group. So you want to make sure you have a description, I'd say 5 to 10 posts at least. And then you also, that's a great time to start using the referral program when people do come in. Again, there's different ways online. You can partner up with different companies, different people that are interested in that. And yeah, it's a team effort. It's just about bringing attention to each other's businesses, and then they'll offer you discounts if you drive traffic to their pages as well. So that strategy of just asking people to invite people to the group and you reward them for that is a great way to initially grow a group.
And Phantom Buster saves you time, but it doesn't mean that you can't go out and do it yourself starting out. So taking advantage of LinkedIn. So Facebook, you're not inclined to put your occupation or role, but LinkedIn, everyone has it. So if you want to find people for partners on Zinzino, you want to find people with more time maybe. So you can even target people that list as stay-at-home parents or something like that. And then maybe make a personal goal message 5 people every day by yourself manually.
Okay, so I have just one more little question around Instagram. Well, actually, it'll be a couple questions. So is there a sweet number of hashtags that we want to incorporate into our Instagram? And when somebody likes your post and or follows you, do you immediately follow them back? Like, what is the protocol here? And then at what point do you reach out to them and start spamming them like they spam you?
I actually do have some good things to mention about this too. One strategy that people think works is the follow unfollow strategy, where they just go and follow a million people. I think that's a terrible strategy. We of course have tried it before as well. We used to do it when we were first trying, like, oh, this is great, we have so many followers, but it's much more valuable to have a small engaged audience than it is to have a massively non-engaged audience. So if you're just following random people who may have no interest in what you're offering, it harms you more than it does good, because then it just looks bad. First of all, you'll have a ton of people that you follow and you won't have any engagement on your posts. So if you have 20,000 followers but you have 3 likes on a photo, that actually hurts you in the long run, and it makes it just look like you maybe bought Instagram followers, or businesses don't want to work with those kind of accounts. But if you have 1,000 followers and you get 300 likes per photo, that's really engaged and people want to work with that, because that shows that you're bringing value, your content's high quality, and that kind of thing. So then, what was the question again? You're
like
asking,
what the etiquette is, like, do we
oh yeah. So the etiquette. So about hashtags, it's tricky, because to have organic traffic from link or Instagram is extremely difficult. It's one of the hardest platforms now to get organic traffic. So hashtags don't have a huge impact. However, reels do, because the point of a hashtag
Well,
is
that's our next media training then, because I
Yeah,
have no
'cause-
idea how to
yeah.
do a reel.
because hashtags, the point of a hashtag is that people can search up that hashtag, right? But how
Mhm.
often do you search up hashtags? Have you, like, think about it?
I was
I've
just
never-
gonna ask you that question. Like, I have never done it.
So if you're not searching up hashtags, are other people searching up hashtags? I don't.
It works, but you have to find
Yeah.
the right hashtag that's small. If you can see the number of posts beside the hashtag, and if it's over 1 million, it's probably not worth going after.
Yeah. And also, again, back to Reels, hashtags do work on Reels, because Instagram likes the new, when they roll out a new feature, you want to focus in on that new feature, because that's what they're going to promote. So if you're in the news feed and it's just like the organic news feed, Reels are going to show up before anything else, because that's their newest feature. That's what they want to promote. So if you do have a Reel, hashtags are great for that. I think no more than, like, what do you think a good hashtag number is? 8 to 5, no, 5 to 10,
Yeah, 5 to 10.
I think.
And if you pair that up with, you should be mindful of like the keyword that you choose, because then you can actually pair that up with, like, you change your name to include your keyword for your Instagram profile, and Instagram will identify, say, if your name is omega-3 or something, and then you also have a bunch of photos with hashtag omega-3. When someone searches up omega-3, you're more
very
likely to show up.
clever.
Mhm.
Can you say that again? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I'll actually show you an example. So
She is alive in New Zealand. Hello, Anita.
In New Zealand.
Hi.
say, so for an example, I don't know if you can see this is beautiful destinations, and
Yeah.
their name is destination, like the keyword is destination as well on their name. So they make sure to include that. Then all their photos have hashtag destination as well. So pairing up the hashtags on the individual photos with their keyword on the name, and then also their username is also beautiful destination. So that's 3 layers of letting Instagram know that that's the word that they want to rank for. Does that make sense?
Cool. Thank you.
Can I ask a question based on ranking? You had mentioned a while ago about the SEO. Sorry, I got to go back to my first page here. SEO blogs.
Yeah.
And the whole kind of process of creating them. With the way Zinzino has a landing page, when you're making that, like, where are you wanting people to land? Is it on your Zinzino landing page, or is it on your own personal Facebook, like where should we be trafficking people to?
That's a good question. So it wouldn't. So I guess you have to post the blogs and your SEO on your own personal account, and it like a website, a landing page. Usually you'd have to set up a blog website, and then from that, yeah, you can link it. It depends what you want from it. So you can link directly to your Zinzino link as well, and they can purchase directly from there. So that can work. But the traffic will go to your own blog on your own website, however you've set that up. And then from there, you link people to purchase. So you'll have links throughout asking people to then go to Zinzino, if that answers your question.
Yeah, because what I'm finding is that so people go to this website and I can't control then who they're signing up. Like I might want to strategically put them underneath one of my customers and I can't. So
Yeah.
the landing page sucks in my opinion. It's not working very well.
We've had some issues with
yeah.
that as well. No, I totally understand what you mean. And there is ways around that, as just you could, for instance, on your blog, have a option for them to purchase, and then a form comes up where you just collect their information and collect their data. And it says you're collecting their credit card information, for instance, and then you can go personally do it yourself because you've collected that data from a form. Then you take that information and then you decide where the purchase goes. That takes a little more customization on your behalf, where you'd have to create a form, of course, that has, say, the credit card information, and you have to let the person know that that's what's happening and it's not a direct purchase. But that is one way around it, I think.
So back to protocol questions as well. So, someone likes my Facebook page and then I go and I email them. Are they not going to get creeped out?
No, because if they like your Facebook page, it should be because you're posting good quality content that they're interested in. So if it is, and it's about the way you deliver the message as well. So if you say, hey, thank you so much for liking my Facebook page, I really appreciate it. Hopefully I can bring you some more value in this regards. And then it can be information on some helpful tip, something, always giving originally as well. You're never asking immediately when they do join a Facebook page, more so give them more value, get them used to you, warm them up kind of deal.
Okay.
And you can also, if someone likes your page, you can then invite them to a group, which is helpful too. So on the sidebar, if they like a page, you can click a button and says invite that person to your group. So that's helpful as well.
That's
So
really
do you think it's important to have both a page and a group?
I think so. Yeah.
Why?
The page could be used for general content, and you can tease, like you can sort of give the most value in the group. And so if they want to have the last answer, the secret part of every post that you put, they have to join the group to understand that or to get that value.
And also, in order to run advertisements, you need a Facebook page anyways. So it's kind of like a business card as well. So if someone's interested in your business, you can have a Facebook page, which they can go to. They can find out more about your business. They can find out information, whereas the group is more engaging. You can communicate with other members. Everyone can make posts. A page is like almost like a website, like a landing page,
Yeah.
provide information versus the group.
Awesome. I've learned a lot yet again. And this is fabulous information. We definitely want to have you come back and teach us how to do some reels and holding
Gotta
stinky
host
fish.
Yeah, I would love to also know what people would like to learn about too, because again, there's so much.
Yeah.
We know 50 different softwares for things. We know about Pinterest. We've worked in every aspect, which is why we kind of went through our history as well at the beginning. One of the big things about running e-commerce stores is we tested every single ad stream from every social media platform. So there's certain things that people are curious about. It'd be super helpful to know and hear that. And then we can also shape a presentation towards that, whether it is, again, just how to actually grow the email list, Facebook group, how to use Reels, whatever it is.
Or give a walkthrough on how to create the ad funnel or quiz funnel or the referral campaign.
Yeah, so fun. I love these ideas. So I know we have totally taken up a full amount of your time. Before you go, can you just give our audience, in the event that they want to say, hey, we want a one-on-one with Josh and Kevin, or can we book a consult, or we want to learn more about what it is you do? I know, like, I'm just going to say this for a second here. I have been so tripped up and absolutely reeled in and teased by ads that pop up saying, you know, buy this template and guaranteed 25,000 followers and only for $37, you know, and we buy these things or we sign up for something. And then at the end, they're just trying to sell you more and there's actually zero content. I've hired people to try to help me with my posts, and it turns out they're not even in the right language. Like, so I know you guys hold a lot of integrity and you actually teach people how to do this. So just a little shout out to your website and what you do and where they can go. And of course they can DM me if they want more information. But
Yeah, sure. And that's exactly why we also like to do what we are doing now, is because a couple of our clients we even started working with, they had been working with people before. And as soon as we looked at the analytics, we're like, okay, all the traffic is fake traffic that they've been showing you from all these different countries all over the world and that kind of thing. So there's tons of issues when hiring people online that people just make promises that aren't realistic. So we do like working with people and kind of advising them through what's real, what's not real, what's tangible, and that kind of thing. So yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, you can either email Kevin or myself at like, can we put it in the chat here?
yeah, we'll put it in the chat. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Josh@leads2profits.org.
And also, courses are great, but they're made for that time. And social media is always evolving and always changing. So a year ago, Instagram Reels, for example, didn't exist. So you'll buy a course and it might be good, but it was good maybe 2 years ago where the rules are all changed.
Right, it's stale content. That's so true. So
Anita, we love SEO. That's one of our favorite things. And we have tons of really cool softwares that we use every day for SEO. So we could definitely dive into some of that stuff too. And also, yeah, our website's leadsprofits.org. .org always confuses people. But yeah, so that's about it.
we're definitely going to have you back. We love this. I think a Tech Tuesday is something that we need to do at least on a monthly basis while you guys are still within our time zones. So
I know they're going to leave us. They're going to go travel the world.
that's okay. This is the beauty about the virtual world, right? We can still make that work. So I'll just ask everyone to go ahead and unmute if you like, and then we can just give them a round of applause and thank you again. So
We will.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
We want to go to New Zealand.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
It was awesome.
good night.
Thank you.
Thank you
All right.
so
Night, everyone.
much.
No worries.
Thank you.
No worries.
Anytime.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and we also love answering questions. So if anyone has some basic questions, feel free.
All right, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.